Nothing new there.
What's all that commotion?
No way, bro!
Did he say he came from Natlan?
No.
Get out of here!
I can understand his words, just not what they mean.
Oh no. Bro!
He keeps repeating the same things over and over again.
Oh, you know one another.
He's a friend! Yeah! A Saurian friend of a human friend!
Great. Well, that was easy. Looks like we've tracked down the owner. Guess that's one less lost and found notice for you to write, Monsieur Neuvillette.
For real?
Traveler, was there something important you wanted to discuss with the Udex? I'm just about done with my business here. Need me to step out?
Stay and hear them out first. Perhaps it will have some bearing on your own work. If I'm not mistaken, you are the same Mr. Kanich who served as a witness in the smuggling trial? I take it there's been a further development in the case.
That's right. Very perceptive, Mr. Udex.
So you've met Neuvillette before? But wasn't the trial overseen by another judge?
I've seen his photo in the papers. But as for this other gentleman...
Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Wriothesley, administrator of the Fortress of Meripede. Or in layman's terms, please, feel free to share anything about the case. There's no need to keep anything from him.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you!
Wow, that sounded just like me. But should we really discuss official business in front of the Saurian?
Oh, wow! Oh, no!
I believe he said... Or rather, I suppose he meant that he'll keep this to himself. Though I should mention, Mr. Kukuku, that we will have to ask you to sign a confidentiality agreement.
Sure thing, bro!
Let us return to the matter at hand. Mr. Kanich, was there something else you wanted to discuss relating to the case?
Yes. Let me fill you in.
Wow! It really is exactly like Lapine Pauline's sketch! That must be all that practice drawing engineering blueprints, huh?
So if it's true that this weapon came into Fontaine alongside the contraband from the smuggling case, then there's a high chance we overlooked a suspect.
That's exactly my line of thought.
I see. Mr. Kanich, thank you for reporting this promptly. I'll arrange for the Marechaussee Phantom to investigate right away. We should begin by questioning the prisoners in custody. Wriothesley.
I'll sign off on the interrogation request, don't you worry.
That would be much appreciated.
It's lucky that the Palais Mermonia wasn't scheduled to release any public bulletins today, and that this gun's lost and found notice hasn't been written up yet. In other words, the news hasn't leaked.
I'll be staying in Fontaine for the time being. If there's any progress in the investigation or you need my help, feel free to reach out anytime.
Yep, we were just about to go help out with Lapine Pauline's convention. If there's any news, we'll keep you all posted.
Marvelous. Thank you all. Well then, all that's left is to...
You miss me, bro?
He really does come out with the most unexpected things. Who did he learn it all from? Huh. Well, it's pretty extraordinary.
Anyway, according to due process, we must first determine whether Mr. Kukuku qualifies as a flying object. And, following on from our conversation just now, he also needs to sign a confidentiality agreement. Drafting said agreement may take some time.
Looks like you'll be staying with us for a while then, Kakuku. Excited?
That would save us a lot of trouble. Many thanks.
All right then, we better get going. No need to see us off.
I know you mentioned a while back that people from Natland would soon start showing up all over the world, but I hadn't expected anything like this.
It seems no matter where they come from, all dragons are inquisitive by nature.
You can say that again, bro!
The same might well be said for humankind. The real reason you chose to stay to investigate this case was your curiosity about Natlan and Mr. Kakuku, was it not?
Guilty as charged. Nothing gets past you. So, how about we take this opportunity to chat a little more? We've got the world's best translator on hand, after all.
Sure thing, bro!
I know you mentioned a while back that people from Natland would soon start showing up.
It seems no matter...
You can say that!
The same might well be... The real reason...
So, how about we take this opportunity to chat a little...
Sure thing!
What's the situation? How bad is it? Oh no. When I saw that Kakuku wasn't with you, I'd already prepared myself for the worst.
Relax, Aoife. Maybe Kakuku just prefers high-rise living now. Sometimes you just have to let the kids grow up and make their own choices in life.
For real now? Do you even hear yourself, bro?
It's not that bad. Kakuku's fine. Still very much alive and kicking for starters.
He hasn't been arrested either, so no jail time.
See?
You're not exactly reassuring me here.
As for the bad news, well, it's really not that bad. Kakuku accidentally overheard some top-secret stuff, so he has to stay at the Palais Mermonia for a while to sign a confidentiality agreement. But there's no need to worry. The person in charge of looking after Kakuku is super nice, so he'll be absolutely fine.
All right. That doesn't sound too bad after all. Wow, hearing that's put my mind to rest.
But based on my understanding of how things work here, the ban on flying objects should be over by the time Kakuku actually gets out.
What a shame. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to go have some fun without him.
You don't look disappointed in the slightest.
Anyway, Auroron and I will be staying in guest rooms upstairs at the Hotel de Boer for the time being. Feel free to drop by if you need us.
Yay! Problem solved! All right, let's catch up another day. Is that Navia over there? Oh, it's been a while. Let's go say hi. Hey, Navia! What you up to?
Shh! Get lost, Monica! I don't want to see you back here until you're ready to wake up and start doing things properly! Right now, you're a disgrace to my kitchen and to the Hotel de Boer name!
It was an accident.
I'm sorry, did you hear me asking for excuses?
No, I'll do better, I promise.
Why is she so aggressive? She won't even listen to what the poor girl has to say. Oh, hey, cut her some slack. You gotta at least hear her out.
Wait!
Huh? Who do you think you are telling me? Wait a sec. Navia? Huh. So, you're bringing backup now. Suit yourself! You're still wasting your time!
Savannah, is this how you always treat your staff?
My staff is right. I'm the one in charge here now. And last time I checked, the Hotel de Boer doesn't take orders from the Spina di Rosula.
Of course. How you run your kitchen is none of our business. But when a member of your staff is so overworked he becomes gravely ill, that most definitely is our business. We're going to stand up for him, whether you like it or not.
Overworked? I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Fermont can't handle the job, then tough luck. There are plenty of other capable people I can hire instead.
But Philmont can do the job, he just...
Monica, back inside, now!
Huh? But you said I shouldn't come back until...
Just do as you're told, and not another word out of you! Come on, we have work to do!
Wow, what a horrible person!
Sorry. Looks like I've dragged you into some drama again. Her name is Savannah. She's the new head chef at Hotel de Boer. Ever since she took the job, she's been enforcing a brutal work regime and putting a huge amount of pressure on her staff. One guy was so overworked, he collapsed from illness. He's been bedridden for days, and he can barely even talk properly.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I don't deserve to be a chef.
At his family's request, the Spina di Rosula is trying to mediate on his behalf. We're not exactly making a ton of progress, as you saw. Savannah is adamant that Vermont's exhaustion and illness have nothing to do with her or how she's been running her kitchen. She's refusing to have any kind of meaningful dialogue with us. Our next thought was to talk to the other chefs at the restaurant and get a better idea of their working conditions. But with Savannah watching them like a hawk, no one has been willing to open up. And that's why I'm here, doing it the old-fashioned way. Camping out, watching, and waiting for an opportunity.
Oh, shoot! It all makes sense now. Sorry. Paimon should have thunk before she spoke. Did Paimon ruin everything?
Oh, no, not at all, Paimon. Honestly, the way she was laying into Monica, someone had to step in. I'm sure I would have piped up if you hadn't. And besides, I don't really think I'm built for espionage. Yeah, meaning it's gonna be all the more difficult to get the inside scoop now. Oh, I might as well head back to the Fleuve Cendre then. We'll need to come up with a whole new game plan.
Paimon will join you, 'cause this is kinda all Paimon's fault.
Guys, it's fine. You don't need to worry about it. That said, if you were planning to visit the Fleuve Cendre anyway, let me take you out for a meal. I'll make sure it's a proper feast. A really famous chef just joined the Spina di Rosula's tavern. Her name is...
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to apologize for the scene you witnessed just now. We shouldn't subject our customers to that. This is a small token from us. It's some candy from Monica. She asked me to make sure it was delivered into your hands.
Monica's the one apologizing? Huh. Clearly Savannah is the one who owes an apology.
Our head chef has been a little highly strung lately. Sorry for everything.
All right. Since there's candy, Paimon will drop it. Not the candy.
Thank you for understanding. We'll make sure to pass your feedback on to Miss Savannah.
A little highly strung, huh?
Paimon doesn't get it. How did someone like her even become head chef?
Well, according to Fermat's family, she hasn't always been like this. But that's a story for another time. Let's try this candy.
Oh, Paimon totally gets it. Come on, dig in! Huh? Hold on, there's something written on the wrapper. Find... Escoffier?
Escoffier? Could this mean...
Huh? You know that name, Nadia?
Yeah. Let's stick to the plan and go back to the Fleuve Cendre for now. That's where we'll find Escoffier anyway.
Or bad news, though?
Sorry, I did everything within my power. But so far, I've only managed to teach him how to say good morning.
Wait, so that's all you've been up to this whole time? Get out of here! Huh? Okay, so good mornings aside, please tell Paimon there's been some other progress, too.
Of course. That's why I'm here. Kukuku's not the only one that Mr. Risley's been getting to talk. I'm referring, of course, to the convicts.
It was nothing. These guys weren't exactly tough nuts to crack.
So, what's the deal?
After racking their brains, they remembered speaking to an inconspicuous middle-aged man just as they were preparing to pack up and leave Natlan. He was dressed in the manner of the Children of Echoes and carrying a box. Plus, the description matches the one the gun was found in. All in all, he didn't look any different from your average Natlanese traveler. Perhaps seeing that they were dressed as merchants, this man stopped for a chat, inquiring where their goods were headed, and even asking if they could share a boat. The smugglers were very cautious, though. They didn't tell him any specifics. But all this happened before I crossed paths with them. I happened to notice them as they were preparing to set sail. I thought they looked shady, so I snuck aboard, and ended up being carried along all the way to Fontaine.
Boss, do we know if those Fontanians will even like this stuff? What if we can't shift it?
And that's why we call you a rookie. It's all supply and demand, kid. Supply and demand. Natlan's foreign trade is just starting to lift off. There'll be a market for it, you'll see.
That's right. So stop giving the boss trouble, rookie. Just do your job and keep an eye on the goods.
Are they merchants? Have they come to Fontaine to do business? Scarred face. Calloused hands. On closer inspection, the fabric looks worn at the knees and elbows, and his fingernails are dirty. Not exactly your typical merchant. Could he have previously been a warrior? Or even an adventurer? Something feels off. I'd better sneak up and get a closer look.
Nice thinking, boss. This tourist tub's been fast going and smooth sailing. Plus, no one's been asking us what we're up to.
That goes without saying.
Who goes there?
Boss, do we know if those Fontanians will even like this stuff? What if we can't shift it?
And that's why we call you a rookie.
That's right.
Are they merchants? Have they come to Fontaine? Scarred face. On closer inspect, could he have previously? Something feels off.
Nice thinking, boss. This tourist tub's been fast going and smooth sailing. Plus, no one's been asking us what we're up to.
That goes without saying. Big cargo ship would have been too slow, whereas the smaller ones would have been faster but way too bumpy. If we ended up damaging the goods by accident, all these months spent grafting away would have gone up in smoke.
Seriously? But there's hardly anything here. Would it really have taken them months to prepare? And why would they need to transport it with such care? Could they be secretly smuggling precious items out of Natlan? I'll need to find a way to get to the bottom of this. Let's go here.
Hey, why the long face? You're abroad on business and you get to do some sightseeing while you're at it. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal to me. You better cheer up if you know what's good for you.
I guess you're right. I was just worried I might have messed up with the packing or that something's gonna go wrong along the way.
Oh, pull yourself together. Tons of foreign tourists come traveling to Fontaine. I bet their luggage is full of all kinds of weird stuff. If someone insists on checking it all, just show them the purchase order we had drawn up. Those Fontanians can't get enough of their legalese, so I've heard. They can look all they want.
Aha. So their aim is to smuggle in contraband after all. Looks like I've gathered enough intel about the smugglers and their contraband. So anyway, that was when I went and told the Fontanian guards about my suspicion. After an investigation and a chase, they finally apprehended them and said,
Well, guess they're headed exactly where they should be.
Thanks.
Based on your recollections just now.
I was completely focused on those smugglers at the time.
Yeah, Kanish, you did great!
In other words, the person who brought the gun here, the one who lost it, has no connection to the smugglers what—
Oh dear, oh dear!
Sounds like Mr. Kakuku wants to chime in?
He said this elusive individual's actions are positive.
It's a good observation, I quite agree. However, we still know next to nothing about the person. Perhaps we should start by focusing on the—
certainly seems like it was the bait in some kind of trap. The only question is, why wasn't the bait made more conspicuous?
Has something sprung to mind?
I just remembered a film I watched this one time.
Huh? Oh, wow! No way, bro!
Hold on, let me explain. Just now, the traveler speculated that this box might have been placed there on purpose, as if the intention was for someone to come pick it up. When they demand their ransom, the kidnappers tell the victim's family to leave money or valuables at a designated spot for someone to come pick up.
That doesn't merely happen in films. There have been similar cases in real life. In fact, if anything, it's probably the real-life events that inspired the films.
Sounds plausible.
Ooh. Wait. This raises the stakes to a whole new level. If the gun really was some kind of ransom, then since we took the box, the kidnappers... Does that mean they executed the hostage?
I agree. I don't believe we have a kidnapping on our hands. Selling off stolen goods is extra work that most kidnappers would want to avoid. Unless they're after something very specific, they tend to... Could we be dealing with a kidnapper who's dead set on getting their hands on an ancient dragon handgun? It's not impossible, but the likelihood is very slim. We can discount... And speaking of selling stolen goods, don't you think this looks more like a transaction?
So, bottom line, this was an individual smuggler at work.
Exactly. And it was the location itself that caused the deal to fall through. The last thing they would have expected was for a quiet beach to turn into a bustling film convention overnight. Not only is the area now packed with tourists, but the Spina di Rosula have a presence there. I'll bet that both parties were completely...
That sounds like a plausible theory, but how do we verify it?
Looks like your people better start rolling up their sleeves.
How so?
Easy. Just follow the usual procedure by putting up a lost and found notice. The more routine we make it seem, the more likely the suspect will come forward to claim it. Even if they send a proxy, we're liable to get our hands on new leads. And timing-wise, it's about time we updated the bulletin board anyway. All we need now is a lucky gestionnaire to write up the notice for us post-haste.
Ah, so that's what you meant by rolling up their sleeves. In that case, I may as well write it myself. Delegating this to someone else would require an additional explanation.
Or are you just not used to asking others to work overtime?
Is that really a major concern here?
Well, looks like I won't be needed around here. At least until...
You could always wait here if you like. The Palais Mermonia serves a particularly fine...
Thanks, but no thanks. I left a very noisy creature with a friend before heading out. So
I wasn't aware that you had a pet, Mr. Kanich. Speaking of pets...
Get out of here! Out of here!
Yep, that's the plan. Out of here indeed.
I believe that what Wriothesley is trying to say is, you are free to leave, Mr. Kukuku. Furthermore, it has been determined that Mr. Kukuku should not, in fact, be classified as a flying object. As such, he shall...
You're the best, bro! Oh, that really is good news! Travelers, should we bring Kukuku back to Aoife and Auroran?
I shall leave him in your capable hands. Indeed.
You know, all this has made me realize that I'd...
If that proves inconvenient within the fortress of Meripede, perhaps you should...
That actually sounds like a good idea. In the past, I always dismissed the idea of buying a property in the city. The prophecy about the...
This might be a good time for you to re-examine the documents I gave you.
Huh?
Citizens with honorary titles are eligible for certain benefits when purchasing property in the court of...
Really?
How about this? You read through your documents from start to finish, while...
These newcomers are full of enthusiasm.
How?
What? What now?
Let's shake hands.
Fine by me. Get ready.
Oh, nice dodge.
Paimon feels strangely inclined to keep a safe distance. Did you miss me, bro?
Cuckoo!
Not you again. Nope, didn't miss you in the slightest.
Hey, other granny. And hey, Paimon and Kanich. It's good to see you all. Thanks for bringing Cuckoo.
Get it away! Get it away from me! Nice to meet you, bro. Who are you calling bro? Say that again to my face! I did.
If you've got the energy to argue this much, you're clearly not hungry yet. Let's go find something to eat while a How lives his...
Poor How. He spent all day being tormented by Auroron, only to discover that the suffering's just begun.
Eva, as a Saurian vet, how can you just sit back and watch our little dragon bros?
Huh? How am I the bad guy?
Even hear yourself? Ah! Doesn't anyone want to hear how Kakuku got out of jail?
Don't lose hope, How. By the same standard, you have freedom of movement now, too. You're still in the game?
Same standard? I will not be held to the same standard!
That's right. You won't. As far as I understand, the Palais Mermonia will want to assess your case on its own merits before they grant you freedom.
Where's that Saurian meat restaurant again? I'm gonna march that little pink balloon right into the kitchen!
Yeah, good luck with that, bro. You'll be putting your own neck...
Also, there's no such restaurant!
Anyway, thanks for looking after a How, guys.
Why, you? Between the two, Kakuku wins the cuteness competition hands down. Ah, really? Thanks! Wait, who are the other contestants, though?
So now that our crew's back together again, what's our next move? Oh, how about a game of rock, paper, scissors?
No chance. If I lose, we'll end up stuck in the room watching films all over again.
Nope. This time, we'll only watch a film if I lose instead.
Had enough too, huh?
For real now? Come on, bro.
Can we just ditch this whole leaving it all to chance thing? Why don't we take our fate into our own hands?
Aren't we doing that already? Rock, paper, scissors uses our hands.
Don't know why you're laughing. You're stuck with paper every time.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
The lost and found notice is up! Maybe we should go hang around the Palais Mermonia to see if anyone shows up to claim it. Huh, looks like there were quite a few others with the same idea.
Ah, hello, you two.
Have there been any developments? Okay, guess not. Well, the notice was only just posted. Guess it's pretty unlikely that someone would show up right at...
Special Patrol, open up!
Ah! Who's there? What's going on? The Special Patrol?
I don't think that's who this is.
Hey, this isn't the time for silly jokes!
Good day, all. Gramps, grannies, aunts and uncles.
What in the Tevat are you doing here, Auroron?
Oh, He must be the one you mentioned. Kukuku's owner?
One of his owners. Kind of. But, bro, what are you doing here?
I'm here to claim a lost item.
Is this the person you saw on the boat, Mr. Kinneat?
Somehow I highly doubt that. For starters, he just addressed us as Gramps and Grannies. And unless this is the youngest-looking middle-aged man in the world...
Huh. Was there something wrong with my door-knocking etiquette? That's how they do it.
That's not door-knocking etiquette. That's the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol doing their...
Oh, I see. I figured it was just a polite way of requesting entry to show... Oh, sorry about that. I totally goofed that one up. Give me a moment. I'll go back out and try again.
So, Roran, you said you were here to claim a lost item. What?
Yeah, so basically...
For real now? Oh, come on, bro. Auroran, be honest now. Were you the one who lost this?
No, it belongs to a friend.
So it belongs to Aoife?
Of course not. Aoife has his own gun. All right then. I knew this wouldn't go well. So here's what went down. This morning, Aoife and I were playing rock, paper, scissors. Before long, he'd lost, as he usually does. So when we got near the plaza, a man suddenly stopped us to ask for help. He said that he had lost something and that someone had found it and sent it over to the Palais Mermonia. But apparently he used to work here and was worried it'd be awkward bumping into his old coworkers, so he asked us to pretend to be the owners.
You didn't manage to keep that pretense up for long.
It's fine. I'm not the one who feels awkward anyway.
So, a former employee of the Palais Mermonia. Was this individual a Fontaine native?
Yes, at least I assume so. He looked like we were about to refuse, but he was so polite.
Could it have been a disguise?
Oh no. Auroran, Paimon thinks you've been tricked. This person... Oh, maybe he already took off and escaped as soon as your mission went pear...
No way. I'm not that dumb.
Huh?
He's not going anywhere. Aoife and Kukuku are keeping an eye on him over at the plaza.
Keeping an eye on him. I like the sound of that.
In that case, let's hurry over to where Aoife is! Time to catch that con man and find out what's really...
Wait a minute, I have a question first. Traveler, Paimon. You're pretty famous in Natlan, right?
Oh, we're basically household names. But why do you ask?
Would that be a problem?
Remember when I said that the seller might be watching in secret?
If so, then picking Auroran to do their dirty work was a careless...
It suggests that the person who got Auroran to claim the item might not be full. There are plenty of unanswered questions, but standing around racking our brains won't help. However, I still suggest that the famous faces among us, meaning the Traveler and Kinich, oh, and of course, we'll empty the box, give it to Auroron, and then he can claim the item as if nothing happened. I'll follow to check if anyone is watching. I doubt anyone would recognize me anyway, so I shouldn't draw too much attention.
I think this plan is worth a try. I shall leave it to the pair of you.
So, I have to go undercover again, right?
Well, not exactly undercover. Just drop the special patrol persona and be yourself instead.
Roger that. Over and out.
No sign of any suspicious individuals around here. Auroron has entered the elevator as planned. I'll head over to the plaza now. Nothing suspicious going on here, either. Strange. Maybe we're overthinking this?
Oh dear! Oh dear!
Stop with the pecking! Stop with the pecking! Please, sir, I'm begging you, do me a favor and get this pet of yours under control!
The heck are you on about?
Sorry, but he's not my pet. He's my coworker. And I should warn you, he's not too happy with how you're talking about him.
What the? This thing has a job? So in Natland...
Uh-oh. Kukuku's not too big on being called a thing either. You're on your own.
I'm sorry. Please, Mr. Kukuku. Master Kukuku. Lord Kukuku. I meant no offense, I promise.
All right, Kukuku. That'll do for now. Let me ask him some questions first.
Sure thing, bro.
Auroron actually looks pretty serious this time. Was he just pretending to be interesting? I think I'll sit back and see how this plays out.
You actually got it? Wow, didn't think it would be that easy.
Ah, excellent. Looks like sending you was the right approach after all.
After all?
I mean, because the staff at the Palais Mermonia don't recognize you, right?
So, I got it. But I don't remember promising I'd hand it over.
Huh?
This thing's pretty cool. I've taken a bit of a liking to it.
Please don't do this, my good sir, my master, my lord. My very life hangs in the balance.
His life hangs in the balance?
If this means so much to you, what are you gonna offer me in return?
Are you trying to get him to say my life?
How'd you know that?
Because I watched that film with you. You should drop the act. We don't want a real misunderstanding in our hands.
You're probably right. But honestly, I don't know what else to say. Sorry, this is the most myself I can be. Is that enough?
Enough. More than enough.
Who's this dude?
Just think of me as a staff member from the Palais Mermonia. Now, if you don't mind, I have some questions for this gentleman about that life or death treasure you were just discussing. Truthful answers appreciated, of course.
Oh no, I'm toast now.
What's that supposed to mean? You don't think the Palais Mermonia has the ability to protect our citizens?
No, I mean, yes, of course they do.
I could do that. But I'd rather you just tell the whole story, from the beginning.
I suppose I only have myself to blame. Such a rare antique, I couldn't resist. I'm a collector of antiques. Nothing excites me more than rare, old relics, and to be completely honest, if someone's selling, I'm buying. As for the seller of this particular item, well, I've never met. We've had some prior dealings, but always under the cover of coded ads in some shady tabloids. Lost and found. As long as I took care to hide a time and place somewhere within the text, then slipped some mora into the envelope before submitting the ad, it would get published. And that was that. Normally, everything goes off without a hitch. But this time, I arrive at the pickup spot expecting a discreet That was not what we'd agreed. But I couldn't just let it go, so I reached out to him again the same way as usual. He replied, and do you know what he said? He told me that the item's now in the
Well, he wasn't lying about that.
He insisted that it would be inconvenient for him to make an appearance himself, but said that if I could somehow find a way to retrieve it from the Palais, of course it wasn't the discount that swung it. Do I look like I'm strapped for cash?
Feeling smug now, are we?
Feeling smug now, are we?
No, please go easy on me.
Go on.
Where was I? Well, anyway, I thought to myself, seeing as the item itself came from Natlan, it would make more sense if I could find someone from there to go retrieve it. And by a stroke of complete and utter coincidence, I just so happened to see these two young folks wandering around. I'm so very sorry. I underestimated the pair of you.
I need you to clear something up for me. You haven't paid the seller yet, correct? And yet he told you to collect the item from the Palais Mermonia.
Well, to be honest, though I can't claim to know him very well, he, on the other hand, seems to know my name and where I live. Besides, this is a guy who managed to get his hands on an ancient Natlanese weapon. That's probably not the kind of person
Fair. That makes sense. So, Mr.
Please, just call me Argento.
All right, Mr. Argento. Listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. It will determine how much of the rest of your life you'll be spending beneath the wave.
What does he mean? Is he gonna drown him just like they do in those gangster films? Oh, I get it. He's talking about that place at the bottom of the font.
Shh, can it?
Owing to your suspected involvement in the illicit trade of Natlanese relics, you're now one of the... A trip to the Opera Epiclese seems unavoidable at this stage. But on the bright side, you still have one chance to make things right.
Okay. Do I really? Please
It's very simple. Just reach out to your seller in the same way as usual, arrange to meet, bring the money, and make the deal. Just be sure to let me know all the details. I'm talking time, place. If we can catch the other party by doing this, you'll have gone some way toward redeeming yourself. Understand?
Oh, I see. I understand. You shall have my full and unadulterated...
Good. Don't break the law, and don't even think about making a run for it. The Palais Mermonia will be watching you and... All right, take the box, but leave your ID and other documents behind. You can go now. As for you two... Protocol dictates that I should take you both back to the Palais and have you sign a confidentiality agreement. But that would take a lot of time and effort.
Such a hassle, bro!
See, Mr. Kikuku knows exactly where I'm coming from. So, I was thinking, since you're all friends of the Traveler...
I understand, sir. We got dragged into this by accident, and it has diddly squat to do with us. Out of respect for the Traveler, we won't say another word.
Oh, I know this part. We better keep our mouths shut or we'll both be sleeping with the fishes in the tailor-made pair. In that case, I understand completely.
Not exactly what I was going for, but if that's how you want to understand it, then be my guest. Then it's settled. Thanks for your help. Boy, am I glad that's over. That's enough work for one day.
Judging by your expression, it must be good news, huh?
It went smoothly, on the whole.
So basically, we hold off until Argento and the other party have set up the next stage of the transaction. Then we...
Patience will be key.
I get that. It's like hunting. I'm just not sure the other party will take the bait so easily.
Well, if he didn't need the money, or if he valued self-preservation over making a profit, he could have walked away as soon as the contraband was brought to the Palais Mermonia. On top of that, although he hasn't shown his face yet, he seems to have no followers or accomplices, and he's relying on an extremely limited set of options to push the deal along. So, if you ask me, he seems like someone who cares a lot about his image and has a somewhat high opinion of himself, but lacks any real ability. I almost get the feeling that if he misses out on his every move is like a spin of the roulette wheel, hoping that the ball will land exactly where he wants it to. Or, I don't know. Maybe he'll cut his losses and vanish into thin air, and our efforts will have been in vain. At least Natlan will get the stolen relic back, so it won't have been for nothing.
In that case, let's hope his arrogance stays in play.
Everyone, I have just briefed the Morishose Phantom on the situation. As soon as there are any further developments, we will act without delay. When that time comes, we will be relying on your help.
We'll be waiting for the good news! Novelette sent someone to contact us this morning! That must mean there's been some progress! No time to waste! Let's head out! Everyone! We're not late, are we?
No, you're just in time. Well rested, I trust?
A great way to stay energetic, certainly.
We received word from Mr. Argenteau yesterday, confirming the time and location of it'll take place this afternoon. And it turns out it'll be somewhere we all know pretty well, too. The film Fantasyland.
Oh, really? Huh. He sure does like that place.
Seems like you share our concerns, Traveler.
Indeed. Capturing someone in a crowded event venue will be much more challenging than in an open area. The criminal might try to blend in with the crowd, or even escape by taking hostages. In light of this, we've had to make additional preparations. As soon as we received the news yesterday, we began coordinating with the Marechaussee Phantom and the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
We'll be deploying lots of undercover agents on site. If things go south, the safety of the civilians will be our top priority. Of course, fingers crossed, everything will go without a hitch.
I noticed a bunch of familiar faces from the previous case, like Captain Chevres of the Special Patrol, so I'm feeling optimistic.
We'll trust your instincts, then. Oh, yeah, and by the way, we've also been in communication with Miss Lapine Pauline.
The Spina di Rosula will provide support within a controlled scope, so there's no need to worry.
The only potential issue is with Miss Escoffier. You know what, that might not be such a bad idea. All right, no more jokes. Miss Escoffier has made it clear that she doesn't want her restaurant to suffer any losses as a result of the... But, well, I have a feeling things might not go quite as smoothly as she... To be honest, we shouldn't have dragged you into this in the first place, and it's caused you quite enough trouble already. The Fontanian authorities should be able to handle the rest from here. But still, I'm guessing you'd like to see how it all turns out. Well then, feel free to head down to the scene, but just stay alert and play it by ear. You won't necessarily have to do anything, unless things go...
I'll do my best to ensure that things don't escalate to that point. Of course. There are still a lot of unanswered questions, but our intel so far indicates that the culprit's from Natlan. Plus, I'm already a witness in this case. Might as well see this thing through to the end.
That's the Kenichi we know and love!
Well, that's enough of the small talk. The operation's scheduled for the afternoon. If we're quick enough, we'll even have time for a few cups of tea before we leave.
Oh, and let's grab something to eat too! Can't work on an empty stomach, you know. And rooting for you! It's a very important job.
All right, I'll head over to the venue now. Ahao's been harping on for days now about this event-exclusive meal he wants to try. See you in a bit.
I look forward to hearing how it all goes.
getting kinda hungry. Let's go check out the restaurant menu.
Your friend thought you might be thirsty. Won't you stay and drink it?
I tend to steer clear of drinks left out in the open.
You're surrounded. Give up and come with...
You lousy swine!
Stop right there!
Oh, look! A surprise performance! Wow! How lucky we are!
Quick, take a photo! After him!
Sorry, my guy. Unlicensed and illegally docked, this boat's not going anywhere.
Quick! Don't let him get away!
Be careful!
Amazing!
Lowly worm! No one flies higher than the almighty Dragon Lord! Who's stealing my fun? Ah, you again! You're driving me crazy! Oh, wow,
All right, that's a wrap.
Unbelievable! You can't just drag someone around like that! Such blatant disregard for human life! I'm gonna sue the living daylights out of you!
Will you now? I think I did you a favor by pulling you away from your audience. Saved you some face at the very least. As for whether you were facing up or down along the way, well, that was your decision, wasn't it?
Why, you... All right, I admit it. I was in the wrong. Oh, of course I know the difference between right and wrong, but I had no choice. I desperately needed the money. I was an expert on ancient relics. Not only did I have a successful career, but a happy family too. But my son, I never imagined he'd turn out this way. Fell in with the wrong crowd and ended up shoulder deep in gambling. We had some savings, but once he fell into debt, he had creditors regularly coming over to threaten and intimidate him. I'm his father. How could I just stand by and watch him suffer like that? Oh, my son is about the same age as you are. If only he could have turned out more like you. That's the only reason I needed the money. Please, believe me. You... Please, kid, I'm begging you. Help me. I see you're from Natland too. That makes us brothers. Please, have mercy. I still have a chance to help my son straighten himself out. But only if I get back. If I go to prison now, he'll be doomed, I tell you, doomed! And isn't standing together and fighting for a better future what families do? Our fate is in your hands, young man. Please, have a heart.
Something wrong, Kanich? Gone soft, have we?
I don't believe a word you say. Wriothesley had you just about figured out. You're a gambler. Pure and simple.
A gambler? Me? Nonsense! I told you, it's my son!
First of all, Are you really from Natlan? You've been keeping tabs on the gun's whereabouts this whole time. You should have recognized at least one familiar face by now. On top of that, the way you threatened to sue me? Spoken like a true Fontanian, if you ask me.
Huh? What kind of logic is that? I can explain. I actually grew up in...
I don't want to hear another word. Ahau, here's your chance. Shut someone else up for once.
The moment I've been waiting for. Eat this, scumbag!
Being a compulsive liar is one of the hallmarks of a die-hard gambler. I bet you're just a Fontanian pretending to be from Natlan. Even if you have any friends or family to speak of, I'm guessing they've long since cut all ties with you. And you have your depraved ways to thank for that. Of course, I might be wrong, but does that matter? I'm just here to arrest you. If you're looking for an advocate or a shoulder to cry on, you're out of luck. Besides, prying the truth out of you is exactly what your beloved courts are for. Isn't that right? Many thanks.
And me? What about me? So rude. You should be bowing down in gratitude to the almighty Dragon Lord. Hey, what do you mean? Hold it right there!
Don't worry. I'm fine. I wasn't the one who just got dragged all the way here.
Little Kanich, thinking back to when you were just an itty-bitty boy, Kanich, aren't ya? Aw, don't start crying like a little baby. I am the almighty Dragon Lord! No servant of mine will be seen acting so weak and pathetic in public!
What are you on about? Still, I suppose there's no point hiding it from you. To put it plainly, I can't stand gamblers. They're the most irresponsible people in the entire world. No respect for the principle that you have to give in order to get. They'll tell 1,000 lies for a single coin, deluding themselves into thinking they can use it to gamble their way to a vast fortune. But we all know that even when it looks like you're getting something for free, there's always an unseen cost. In the past, I also ended up paying a price for my father's gambling losses. I don't want anyone else to end up in a similar situation if I can help it. Don't feel sorry for me. I certainly don't feel sorry for myself. They say that people are shaped by their past, and since I've made it this far, I must have done a lot of things right. We should never punish ourselves for the mistakes of others. Instead, I choose to remember the moments that helped me grow. Like when I first learned to use a grappling hook, or the very first time I yearned for knowledge. Yeah, I believe you. Let's get going. If we don't head back soon, we'll cause more unnecessary worry.
She looked pretty pleased with herself. So after so much running in circles, turns out he had no fight in him, huh? Guess running away was the only trick up his sleeve. Oh, also, Risley said to let you know that he's already left. He went to report back to the Palais Mermonia. Apparently the Marisho say Phantom's preparing to carry out an in-depth investigation into illegal gambling activities. Sounds like they'll have their hands full. Anyway, that's for the Palais to worry about, not really our concern. Hey, it's not like you to give up so easily, Charlotte. Make sure you pick the best shots of Paimon. Oh, already gone. Hope she heard that. Yeah, you're right. But what took you all so long to get here? Did something happen?
If you say so.
Poor little Kanich. No one was there to pat him on the head, so he went off to cry all on his own. For real now? Seems more likely that Ahau was the one crying. Hey, you little...
To be honest, I haven't decided yet. At the moment, I've got nothing urgent to get back for. And, in any case, the court might need me to testify again. Plus, that gun's still a key piece of evidence. I'll probably have to wait until the case is closed before I can return it to Natlan. So, I guess I'll be sticking around to enjoy the beach a little longer.
So, who is this Escoffier, anyway?
Well, for starters, she used to be the head chef at the Hotel de Boer, before Savannah. She recreated the legendary Gâteau de Boer and restored the restaurant back to its former glory. Safe to say, she's the most renowned head chef in the Hotel de Boer's history. After the culinary genius Modeste himself.
Gâteau de Boer? That's the super exclusive cake that they only sell a few slices a day, right? Wow. Why the heck would she let Savannah take her place?
Well, apparently, the Hotel de Boer was reported for a safety incident. Someone claims that the kitchen was adding an illegal substance to their menu. But none of the chefs had any idea how it could have gotten into the food. In the end, Escoffier decided that as head chef, she should take responsibility. And she was sent to the Fortress of Meripede.
The Fortress of Meripede?
Well, you're right. The quantity of the substance they found was fairly minimal. Even the guards believed the whole thing was probably just an accident. Escoffier didn't have to stay in the fortress for long, but still, by the time she returned, the role of head chef had already passed to Savannah.
So that's what happened. Paimon still thinks it's really unfair.
Even though Escoffier is no longer head chef at the hotel, she's still well respected by the staff. So, I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier to try and negotiate with Savannah on the staff's behalf.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Monica wants Escoffier to come back and kick Savannah out. It's simple. If the new head chef is stressing everyone out, then the solution is just get the old one back.
Well, about that.
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready to serve after 3.5 minutes on the stove. You'd have had more sense serving hot water with ice cubes. At least then you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom. What do you say, Hilaire?
I'm sorry, Cream. I'm sorry, Mushroom.
As you can see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to allow those flavors the chance to come out. Don't be fooled by the aroma when the water first starts to boil. Got it?
Yes, Chef.
Then go back and do it again. The customers are still waiting. Remember where you went wrong and don't repeat the same mistake twice.
Yes, Chef!
Excuse us, we're...
Waiting to be served? Sorry, we're pretty busy. I'm afraid you have to join the line.
Oh, no, we're not here to eat.
So you're not paying customers? Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat. We can catch up while we wait.
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it always this busy here?
These days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since Escoffier joined as temporary head chef. Well, in her words, the Hotel de Bourg doesn't need her anymore. It doesn't look like she's got any plans to go back.
I guess I'll be heading off then.
Wait, take these home with you. We can't serve them now, and there's no sense in letting them go to waste.
Oh, thank you, Chef.
For what? Like I said, I just don't want them going to waste. Oh, and tell Fiamma to get well soon, so you're not running yourself ragged every single shift.
Fiamma. That's the second time we've heard that name. Who is that again?
He's the chef that fell ill from stress. Hilaire is his son. And with Mom stuck at home taking care of Dad, he decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take home.
Hey, I heard that, Navia! I've told you before, no one's making extra food. Hilaire is making blunders in the kitchen, and I can't serve his failed dishes, so he might as well take them home.
Yeah, failed dishes that just so happen to be nutritionally complete every single time.
So, you two must be the world-famous traveler and her companion, Paimon, yes? Is there something I can help you with?
Oh, so you know us already. We'll skip the introduction then. We're here to talk about Savannah.
Oh, I certainly am. The Spina's headquarters are right next to the tavern. And I've lost count of the number of times Navi has come to pester me about it. But I don't work for the Hotel de Bourg anymore. And being ex-head chef doesn't give me the right to interfere with that business. Besides, I'm the one who persuaded Savannah to take the job in the first place.
What?
Well, she was a much gentler person back then. A little timid even. She wasn't at all confident that she was the right fit for the role.
That's hard to believe. Are we definitely talking about the same Savannah here?
Honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either. Anyway, suffice to say that given the history between us, it'll be tricky for me to tell her she's doing her job wrong without coming across like a huge hypocrite. Fiamar and the others probably think that Savannah gets it all from me.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Escoffier. Look at this note we got from Monica.
She mentioned me.
Whatever shortcomings you feel you have, it looks like Monica still trusts you. As for the others, well, how can you know what they think unless you ask them?
Monica.
Plus, it's not like we're asking you to storm in there and raise hell. We're only in the initial phase of our investigation. All we're trying to do is get the other chefs to open up to us.
Oh, Monica. Oh, Monica!
Escoffier?
I can't believe her! Powdered sugar is supposed to be applied sparingly. Look at all that on the wrapper. It's thicker than the sole of my shoe. Unbelievable! I won't stand for this. She has to learn. Come on, we're going.
Wait, so now she's,
Let's go catch up to her. We don't want to keep her waiting.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Wait, she looks like... Is that Escoffier?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I messed up your order.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe the taste is a little off, but if you hadn't brought it up, I don't think I would have noticed.
But, please, you have to forgive me or Chef is gonna... Okay, I know. I'll kneel before you.
What the heck?
Get up, Monica! Can't you see that you're just making your customer feel more awkward?
Escoffier?
If you want forgiveness, then do what any self-respecting chef would do. Make the dish again. And this time, get it right. You cannot go begging your customers to feel sorry for you.
Savannah said that I'm not allowed back in the kitchen until I've corrected my mistake. But if I can't go back into the kitchen, I can't do the dish over.
That's some backwards logic. How can you fix your mistake without being allowed to cook? If this is what Fermat had to put up with, then no wonder he had a breakdown.
We apologize for interrupting your meal, sir.
It's fine. With my layman's palate, it's not like I can tell the difference anyway. I was actually quite enjoying my meal until she appeared out of nowhere and started apologizing. Gave me a bit of a fright, to be honest.
Oh, well, it's because Chef Savannah tasted a bit of the leftover soup from my pot and then threw me out of the kitchen.
Gosh, that's pretty strict. Has she always been that way? I don't recall things being like this when Escoffier was head chef here. I gotta say, you're all looking a little worse for wear these days.
I mean, Escoffier was strict too, but
I think the difference is that her criticism was more constructive, so you knew what you did wrong and how to improve, and we all knew that it came from a good place. Chef Escoffier was hard on us because she truly wanted us to reach her level. But these days, whenever we make a mistake, we just get told to wake up, get your head in the game, or just do it again. And it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef Escoffier had started working again in the Fleuve Cendre.
Monica, you don't need to call me chef. I'm not the boss here anymore.
Yeah, but through no fault of your own. What happened back then? That wasn't on you, and all of us know that. That banquet was a huge event, and so many staff were involved every step of the way. With so many moving parts, there's no way of knowing how that Lumiline ended up in the food we served.
Lumiline? What's that?
A new drug from the Fontaine Research Institute, produced from an extract of the Lumitoile. Apparently it sharpens the senses, so they used it to treat people with impaired responses to stimuli.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste buds. Makes things pretty addictive.
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects, and even lead to nerve damage. So it quickly ended up on the guards' list of controlled substances. Unfortunately, however, some food products containing the additive had already made it to the market by the time the guards banned it from the restaurant industry.
Everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminated ingredients by mistake. But you took all the blame. We all know why. You just didn't want to see this turn into a place where tensions are constantly running high. Because everyone's suspicious of each other all the time. And now look at you. A fry chef in the Fleuve Cendre.
What are you trying to say? Sure, the Spina's Tavern is no Hotel de Boer, but come on. It's not that bad, is it?
Oh, the Fleuve Cendre, you say? Great. That's where I'm dining from now on.
Monica, I'm very happy with my current job. And there's no changing the past. We just have to let bygones be bygones. Besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was. Ultimately, the responsibility lay with me.
If only Savannah was half the boss you were.
I'm sorry? Do you have a problem with my conduct as head chef?
No, chef.
So you do remember who's boss? Escoffier? I thought you'd left this place for good. What are you doing back here?
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this? When I turned this place over to you,
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do my job. You're not the boss here anymore, so stop acting like you own the place.
Whoa. Sounds like someone has a chip on her shoulder.
Oh, Savannah! My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you? Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand marcotte, thinking no one can tell the difference?
That's none of your business!
What happened to not storming in and raising hell?
Ho ho! I was not expecting to see something this spicy as soon as Escoffier returned.
Huh? Fan Agem?
Aye, miladies. Might I make a humble suggestion? Given that we have ourselves a tête-à-tête between chefs at the Hôtel de Bord, I dare say it would be de rigueur to settle this the traditional way.
The traditional way? That can only mean one thing.
That's right. I'm talking, of course, about the tradition established by Modeste himself. The cooking contest!
According to legend, the founders of Hotel de Boer, Modeste and Savelli, used this method to resolve all of their disputes. Everything from petty arguments over next week's menu to disagreements over the strategic direction of the restaurant. The cooking contest would decide who had the final say.
It sounds like they had a lot of free time on their hands.
Well, it might sound that way to us. But in fact, the cooking contest played an enormous role in motivating chefs to hone their skills, reaching new heights of excellence in the culinary arts. And indeed, The reintroduction of this institution in recent years has surely been instrumental in transforming the Hôtel de Bord into the top-ranking restaurant in Fontaine.
Reintroduction? Someone brought it back? Who?
What say you, Escoffier? Surely you of all people won't back down from this challenge. It was you who put the rule in place, after all.
Sure, I reinstated it, but I'm not a chef at Hôtel de Bord anymore. Isn't this bending the rules a little?
I see no issue as long as both sides agree to the terms. We could simply treat it as an exhibition of sorts.
Exhibition. Huh. No. If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all on the line. If I lose, it's up to you what happens to me.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, you hand over the Codex de Bord to me.
What? The Codex de Bord?
Only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes, including Gâteau de Bord. It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world, and only the present and former head chefs of the Hôtel de Bord have the right to read it.
Present and former? Wait, but that already includes Savannah, though.
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy, don't you?
Don't take me for a fool. You know perfectly well what I mean. I want your copy, the original version, the one you took with you when you left us.
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the copy, right? They contain the exact same recipes.
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me? Or are you scared of me getting my hands on the original codex?
Savannah, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift, to thank Escoffier for her years of service. Asking for it back feels a little,
Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree to the terms. Those were your words, weren't they? And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Bord, per the recipe in the codex. Well, Escoffier, you against me. Are you in or out?
You sound surprisingly confident. All right then, let's see how much you've actually grown. I hope you surprise me, Savannah. I'd hate to find out that all you've learned after this long is how to chew people's heads off.
Believe me, I'll show you.
Escoffier, are you sure this is a good idea? You accepted her terms a little hastily.
Oh, it'll be fine. Let's head back to the Fleuve Cendres so I can get prepping.
I do apologize. This whole ordeal reflects rather poorly on us. I'm afraid it's not quite that simple. The Hôtel de Bord runs as more of a partnership, you see. It was founded by two friends, Modeste and Savelli, and it's been that way ever since. So, while I am technically Savannah's boss, it's not really my place to interfere with the business of the kitchen. To be perfectly honest with you, that's part of the reason why I suggested a cooking contest. If Escoffier wins, it would be the perfect opportunity for her to talk some sense into Savannah. Or, of course, if she wanted to return, then... But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Whatever the outcome, this contest will hopefully serve as a turning point for us. Please, pass on my best wishes to Escoffier. I must say, Savannah surprised me with her confidence. Does she really believe she can best Escoffier in the kitchen? I thought she was just blowing off steam when she first raised the idea to me. I do apologize. This whole... I'm afraid it's not quite that... So, what? To be perfect... If Escoffier wins, it would be... But I must...
I can't believe I got to witness that firsthand. I only stopped by here for a quick meal. I definitely got my Mora's worth today.
So, this whole bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere. Was it really sensible to just go along with it?
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking. So if she won't talk, this might be the best way to find out what's really going on with her.
Huh? Holding back? Sure didn't sound that way to Paimon.
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way. always closed off, never letting you know what she really thinks.
That's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but truthful with you about the disgraceful amount of sugar you use.
Okay, that's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modeste's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creations had an enormous influence on the course of Fontaine cuisine, turning it into a much more vibrant and diverse scene. For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Bourg was made using a special secret ingredient that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures. So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things they had ever tasted. Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hôtel de Bourg, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary world. Especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius, and over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known as the Codex de Bourg.
Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hôtel de Bourg took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the land, serving those recipes for centuries to come. Something like that?
What? No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How could any restaurant survive if they only served food that was popular last century? Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste passed away while he was still in his prime. And that was it. The end of the Hôtel de Bourg's heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, it was just a nondescript place with a couple of cheap tables. It's only in recent decades that it started recovering. Even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liue's martial arts novels, where the main character learns all their secret powers from.
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality. You can't meet the tastes of modern diners by following some ancient recipes from a dusty old book.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bourg they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Wait, really? Why, though? Didn't that recipe make it into the Codex?
It did, but like I said, it's the dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modeste wrote about. So, reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the Codex. But ultimately, the Gâteau de Bourg today is my own recipe. As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Vanigem's business sense to thank for that.
Oh. Huh. Well, that kind of takes all the mystique out of it.
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine today. And who knows, maybe Escoffier's version is more suited to your palate. Just think, if the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be, there's no way the recipe would have been lost to history, right? Not to mention that the Hôtel de Bourg never would have fallen into a slump.
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the Codex, including my own improved versions, and turned them over to Savannah.
So why is she so interested in the original copy? Could it be a symbolic thing? Like, whoever holds the original Codex de Bourg is the true head chef?
Well, it was clearly precious enough to give to Escoffier as a parting gift. Meanwhile, Savannah only got a copy. Maybe from her point of view, it's like management doesn't truly see her as being worthy of the role.
You think so? The only thing is, it was her suggestion to gift me the original in the first place. Well, a joint decision by her and Vanigem. But still.
What? Huh. Guess she's had a major change of heart since she became head chef. Yeesh.
Who knows? We could speculate forever. Better to just let our gato do the talking. It means besting her in this bake-off, and then getting her to explain herself, even if I have to beat it out of her with a spatula. However much she's changed since we worked together, I believe that she still has her chef's pride. And if she respects the art, she'll respect the outcome of our contest.
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for Froment. All you need to do now is win the contest. But that should be a breeze for you.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gâteau de bourg is very complicated to make. Usually, it takes 3 chefs working in tandem to cover everything. Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself. But I'd prefer to play it safe if I can find a couple of assistants in time.
Well, that's easy. The 3 of us are veterans in the kitchen. You just need to pick 2 of us.
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior. But be warned, I will hold you to exceptionally high standards. Think you're up to the task?
Oh, count me in too. I've spent weeks perfecting my macarons after your scathing review. Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it. I'll show you what I'm made of.
Confident. I like it. All right, let's start with some elementary mise en place. Show me your knife skill.
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Navia. The difference in your case is that mise en place is chopping stuff up without sending juices flying all over the kitchen. Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
Yeah, thankfully it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. I'll be using this cold press to extract flavor compounds from the ingredients. A kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make for me. It uses cold temperature extraction to isolate the essence of cooking ingredients, which can then be used to flavor dishes more precisely. But this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me give you a demonstration instead.
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. I've never used anything this weird before. Just cool. No, weird.
And done. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients. I processed all the fruit you chopped up earlier.
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated. What next? Do we add all this stuff in?
Absolutely not! Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors. We have to go slowly and carefully to calibrate the exact flavor we want. I'll demonstrate again. Now, watch closely. Slowly and carefully, not... And voila! Now it's your turn. Not terrible. Considering this was everyone's first time blending flavor extracts, it could have been worse. But the Traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure you've never done this before? Oh, well, they do say adventurers are multi-talented folks. Now I've seen it firsthand. Alright, now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something from the Hotel du Bois' current menu. I'll judge your submissions and give you a final score. That's right. The true test of your cooking skills is the finished product. It'll be good practice for the contest itself. Now get to it. Chop chop!